Thank you for inviting me. It's good to be seen. So once again, here we are on this great pranic journey, this holistic lifestyle. And as you're dealing with the holistic lifestyle, it's dealing with a unity consciousness because it's covering every angle of a person's life. You can have strong points over here energetically, but if you got weak points in your life, it will drain the energy going the other way because it's not fully balanced. So the Breatharian journey, you're analyzing every facet of your life because all of it works with energy flow. Now, the foundation I usually paint for my students are diet, exercise, meditation, fasting, and also mental health, the thought process, the 5 pillars. These seem easy, but each of these are skills that can be developed and you can grow even further to where you're at now, even if you might be skilled in one of them already. Let's take, for instance, some points you might already be strong at, but other points you are weak at. For instance, there's some people that might be strong in meditation, but they're really weak at fasting. There's some people might be strong in exercise, but they really do got bad eating habits. You see what point I'm making? So you want to analyze to see where you're already kind of strong at, and then see the things you need to develop to make it well-rounded. And all of these things play off of each other. For instance, let's take meditation. I usually tell people meditation is the foundation. However, don't they tell you you should not eat or drink nothing a certain amount of time before you meditate so you can have a better meditation? So instead of your meditation being over here and your fasting be over here, you are fasting to have a better meditation so they both come together. Holistic lifestyle. And when they tell you to don't eat or drink nothing a certain amount of time, you start realizing what you eat also affects your meditation. So now here's meditation. The fasting is going towards the meditation, and also the way you're eating is going towards the meditation. That's 3 pillars right there. So next is your exercise. Exercise is a really hard skill, but it can be learned. It is tough to work and develop your whole physical body in a safe manner And that takes a lot of mastery. And even though it takes a lot of energy to exercise, in the long run, it gives you more. Now, there was a time in spirituality / religion, the physical body was put down. People felt it had nothing to do with spirituality.
It's just me writing some notes of what you're saying so people can read it. Yeah.
Thank you. But now, when the Breatharian knowledge came on the scene, it values the physical body because this is what you're trying to transform. How is it going to be self-sustaining if you don't take care of it? If you don't develop it? And what the unity consciousness is saying, the mind, body, and spirit, which is energy, are all one. You're just not looking at my physical body. You're looking at a spirit, an energy. You're looking at my mind. So it's a whole different ballgame as you bring this whole thing together. And keep in mind, each of these pillars, diet, exercise, fasting, meditation, and your thought process, they can be developed even further than where you think it's at now. This is why perfect practice makes perfect. If somebody asks you what you do for a living, you could boldly say you're a holistic practitioner. You're working on yourself. My mother called me one time. What are you doing? I said, I'm evolving. And I meant it. I'm changing. That's all I care about. So now, all of these go together because even though I say meditation is the foundation, now let's go to mental health, your thought process, mental fitness, psychological health, all the same thing. You wouldn't even be able to do these other ones if you didn't have the mind to develop and do it. And that's where the battle is at. Trying to break old programming to bring on new behavior is not a small feat at all. You're brave for even taking on that challenge. Because the old conditioning of society is going all through our energy field. And we did it day after day year after year, decade after decade. Those are some strong energies, especially eating solid food. It just ain't up here. It has its own energy channel, strong, going through the body. This is why they say your subconscious create most of your reality. Where's the subconscious? Sub means below. This is the consciousness when we look at, you know, how we was taught. Sub is below, it's in the body. The mind and the body is one. This isn't new. In the scientific arena, in psychology, all of them will say that the mind and the body has always been one. And right now, we know it's one. It's not even a debate nor an argument. So when you transform the thinking, the body is going to follow. That's universal law. The body cannot live without the mind. But the mind can live without the body. Oh, this is powerful. But that's a whole nother teaching in itself. And one day we'll get there. First things first. So now I'm going to read something to you. These are my notes. And it's talking about mental fitness. Because we are in an age of information. But all information don't mean it's all good. And there's some people can find themselves in New Age spirituality. And I call it mental or spiritual psychosis. They're not able to weed out what to do, how to develop themselves, or understand what's actually being said. That's why it's good, especially in the beginning, to try to find you a good teacher who can direct you in the right direction. So mental fitness. Mental fitness is the ability to think clearly. Listen. And keep in mind I'm bringing this up because I travel to a lot of countries all over the world. And everywhere I go, mental fitness or mental health, everybody's dealing with it. Everybody's dealing with it. And they will even tell you that 3 out of 5 people you meet might have an undiagnosed mental problem going on. And that's wild. This is why it's in the Breatharian journey. No put down. Because all of us been affected. So you need to develop your thought process over and over again until you realize and you really know that you can think clearly. Because dealing with these pillars, even though all of them seem healthy, if you don't think clearly, you can abuse them and do a lot of harm to yourself and others than doing good or what they're intended to do. I hope this is making sense. I had to tell quite a few people on the path, you need to slow down and quit for a minute, because you can't hear what's going on and you're doing more harm than good to yourself. Right. You got to be able to see it. So being able to think clearly and to make decisions efficiently. Make decisions efficiently. If you can't make it 3 days fasting, stop trying to do 3 days. Start out with a day until your skill level upgrades itself. The ability to make great decisions. And meditation is very hard. It always tell you that as soon as a person start, you're going to deal with the monkey mind. And just because you learned meditation 20 years ago, if you know you haven't been practicing it, it ain't get developed. I've been meditating for 20 years. No, you haven't. I'm serious. This is where we at. Because if you want to be successful in transformation and really have a good skill, you must work on it consistently, day in and day out, on whatever you're trying to pursue. Now, everybody got an electromagnetic field. We got the memo now. You're alive, or even if the body's dead, it has an electromagnetic field. But if you want to live on energy, prana as we call it, you most definitely need a bigger energy field than you have right now. And how is that going to happen? Perfect practice made perfect. Now listen at this. And when you're dealing with mental fitness, it's the parallel could be drawn with physical fitness. Listen at that. They're comparing it with physical fitness. Now, we all kind of know what a fit body looks like, right? But it's hard to see with somebody who don't have good mental fitness. And like I said, the way life is, all of us come in the avenues where we could get stuck for a minute. We can't think clearly for a minute. And we're bringing this up on the Breatharian journey because this is going to take a lot of care in order for you to really develop in the other areas, or it's going to hold you back. Our minds are very powerful. Now, there was an athlete in America, and he's not the only one, but he actually hired a mental coach. People doing it now. Because he said when you're physically hurt, limping or whatever, it's easy for other people to see that. But when you mentally hurt, all people can't see it. This is how serious it is. Now, since I gave you, I don't want to say the negatives. Now let's go positive with it. Why do you want to really look after your mental health? because that's going to say everywhere that's going to be in everything in your life. Now, mental health includes emotional health. And most people do make decisions from their emotional body, which is your physical body. You don't even realize. So it includes your emotional, your psychological, and social well-being. Your social well-being. How do you socialize? This means a lot, because people is even an energy source that you can feed off of, or you can get drink from it. Either you don't know how to make the right boundaries, or you easily could be swayed out of what you're trying to do because of poor social skills. But all of these can be developed. All of them can be developed. This is the good part. Now listen at this. Mental health skills are called psychological skills, and they are tools for the mind. Now you're going to like this. I don't mean you got to go get a therapist. If you need one, go get one. But we're in an age where we got a lot of tools where you can start developing this. You got to take it seriously. And if this changes, everything in your life is going to start changing. Now check this out. These skills include positive self-talk. Positive self-talk. The person we usually talk to the most is ourselves. How are you talking to yourself? Some people blow a lot of opportunities. They had nothing to do with other people or the situation. It happened right here. Positive self-talk. Because on this, you got to be your main motivator. You got to know how to talk to yourself. The body's listening. Enhancing your confidence. You can do a lot of things. Goal setting. This is a big one. I know a lot of people will make goals too big for them. Start with the small stuff first. I always tell my students, how often to fast? Start out with one day. You can't master one day. How you going to do more? But that's not enough. I want to be a breatharian. But then they find out, I think you was correct, Elitom. Because if you get goals too big for you, your confidence is going to go down. You found out you ain't know as much as you thought you did. And then your positive self-talk is going to drop. See how they all play off of each other? It's all mental. Goal setting. In achieving the most productive mindset. You want the most productive mindset as possible. Now, I ain't telling you to do this, but I have to calculate sometime for people to realize what I'm saying. Now, let me think, do I got it right? If you fast once a week, if I got this wrong, let me know later. And I think there's 52 weeks in a year, something like that, right? At the end of the year, you could boldly tell somebody, I fasted for 52 days last year. People look at you like, what? See what I'm getting at? I fasted for 52 days. And then the next year, you just start upping your game a little bit. And we ain't even adding on quarterly. You probably did a week fast. Semi-annually, you probably did a couple weeks and add up that all in. If you add it all up at the end of the year, you would have did a lot in repetition, so your body could get the memo on what you're trying to do. You don't want your body to think you're just trying to starve it and you're doing anything. No. This is a program. Your body is the ego. It's a program. Now, I'm going to give you tips for improving your mental health. And this is stuff you already know. Watch this. It really isn't hard, but listen at this. You can't make this up. Number one, try to relax and reduce stress. This is why I say meditation is the foundation. When you know how to meditate and know what it's for, you're learning how to relax to reduce stress. And they're saying those are tips for your mental health. How are you going to think clearly if the body's tight and the mind is tight? The energy is blocked. This is why meditation is the foundation. I'm trying to tell you to go relax. And then when I say fast once a week, remember when I said your fasting is for a better meditation. So that's not a fasting day. That's a meditation day. See how it's all coming together? So you're having a whole day once a week where you totally relax for your mental health. It's all about your mental health. Your body is the mind. Oh, see how I'm putting it all together? Number two, find ways to learn and become creative. Find ways to learn to become creative. See, when your energies start going up, you got more energy to do things. You sleep less. So if you sleep less, if you don't find nothing to do, you're going to go back to your old habits. Mainly eating. I know how to crochet, paint, sew, do pottery. I had a lot of time on my hands, right? I got creative. Mental health. Number three, spend time in nature. Spend time in nature. Get off the couch. Your body is nature. It's good for your mental health. And if you live in the city, I'm sure there's a park around. If it ain't, use your imagination. Look at all the buildings like they trees. You got to do what you got to do. Number four. Oh, this is a big one. Y'all ready? Connect with others. And I don't mean you got to go make a whole lot of friends. But connection is important. The old way of thinking of spirituality is somebody being up on a mountain all by themselves. Nobody could touch them. But that's not reality. You're one with everything. Yes, you need your time out and time alone. Nobody's arguing. Learn to properly connect with people so you can gain more energy and also give more energy. You'll grow faster. We're one entity. All generations is the same generation. Oh, this is good, ain't it? Oh, y'all ready for number 5? We've been talking about this. Look after your physical health. See how they connecting it? This is tips for your mental health. And they're saying, look out for your physical health. Because if you got good physical health, it'll help you mentally. See how this works? Don't let your physical body go. That's a sign of bad mental health. This is good, ain't it? You start walking, get the heart beating, that blood is going to the brain. Number 6. Oh, y'all ready for this one? Try to improve your sleep. Get comfortable. Don't oversleep, but improve it. See, sleep is unconscious meditation. I'm gonna throw it at you right now. You don't eat when you sleep, and I only see one person eating while they sleep. That was a relative of mine. But when you're sleeping, that's how you're regenerating. You're actually feeding. Because you're in a relaxed position. And that gives the cosmic energy a chance to detoxify the body. That's why you usually got to use the bathroom when you wake up, or spitting up mucus. Yep. So that's why it's unconscious meditation. You're learning how to meditate consciously. You're mimicking the sleep so you can get more energy. But the meditation gives you way more energy than when you're sleeping. That's why when you learn how to meditate, you'll sleep less. Oh man, this is good. Now it's getting dark here where I'm at. I'm in Ethiopia and the lighting is, but we all right. As long as you can hear my voice. So emotional health is a skill. Your emotions, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to get, what was that other one? Sad. It's okay to feel stress, but to know how to manage it is the key. That's why they say when you got a high vibration, your emotions are easily dealt with. It ain't say it gets rid of your emotions. They'll be easily dealt with. You ain't got to be mad at somebody for 2 years. That means you can't deal with their emotions. I just give an example. Right. It's just the energy, mental health. So you learn how to manage negative feelings. Take a time out, whatever it takes. But it takes work, depending on how much your emotions been getting away from you. Like I said, some people are stronger in certain areas than others. So going back to this message again, this is a holistic lifestyle. Holistic means whole. Most people come on the journey, they just focusing on fast and fast and fast and fast and fast. Okay, we got it. But what about the rest of you? Which is all energetic. It's either going to feed you, nourish you, or it's going to drain you. And you don't know what the problem is. You got to balance all of this out. Just like an athlete. If you're a soccer player and you're good at bringing the ball upfield That's good. But you're a lousy shooter when it comes down to making a goal. So what you start doing is start practicing on your shooting so they can balance out. You're looking at your total life because it's all energetic in its whole. And then when that all comes together, your perception on how you're looking at the world will be totally different. I can listen to people and tell how they're looking at the world and where the energy is at and where it's blocked in the body. Now look how I said that, blocked in the body, because the body is the mind. That's why they're talking. Oh, man. So once again, I hope I covered all the bases. I got a group after this, so y'all just warm me up for them. Yeah. But I'm willing on taking questions. And hopefully we can get the right answer. So any questions?
Yes. Thank you so much, Elitom, for all of this wonderful outline that you've given us. There's lots of tips here. We probably have a lot of questions here. Do we have questions?
Oh,
Come
on. Hello. You talked
yes.
about mental health, mental health, physical health. How do you define spiritual health?
Well, spirit, let's just say, use the word energy. Did that fit for you? Spirit is energy, especially in this age we're in now. Give you an example. There was a time they used to say you had an aura around your body. Some schools of thought still say that. But now we use the term, you got an electromagnetic field around your body. They're the same thing. So since we get this definition going, the physical health, the mental health is the spiritual health. They're all one and the same. They're not separate. We're used to separating. And this is what we're trying to say in this message. We're coming from duality to unity consciousness. So that's why your energy channels, you're straightening them out so you could get a better energy flow instead of it just running any old way. I hope this makes sense. That's what we mean by the spirit or the energy. And if that's going not the way it should be going, it affects your thinking and you'll feel it physically a certain way. They all go together. You straighten it out it physically, that energy channel, the perception of the thinking will change, and your energy field to get higher because it's going where it needs to go. They're all one and the same thing. I hope that answered your question.
Elitom, someone wants to know from online, what is the atmosphere in Ethiopia right now? Are people there sensitive to holistic health in the way that you are talking about it?
Well, what's going to happen is it's going to take a minute. Now, the reason why I say this is because there's places that I travel to and people hear the message, but they got other things to do in their life. It's sort of like farming or gardening. You planted the seed. And right now a seed is getting planted. Next time you give it time to grow, you'll be ready to water it. And then you'll have people who will spring up more. So they need time because this is the first time this message is coming on this type of level to them. I hope that makes sense. See, there's places now this calling me, but it wasn't like that when I was there. They needed time for it to soak in first. We're just like plants, literally. Everybody needs time to grow. So Ethiopia is going to take a minute. That's why I'm coming through Africa now. Next time I come through on the second time, it's going to be a different story. But right now, the seeds are getting planted.
That makes perfect sense. Thank you, Elitom.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned setting small, realistic goals.
Right.
And goals like walking all of Africa. Yes.
Yeah. Now,
That's
now
why
keep in
that's why
mind-
you're doing it and I'm not.
Right. Now, keep in mind, I'm walking all of Africa, but I was once in long distance biking, and I made 2 long distance walking trips in America. So that was the smallest goals, smaller one. See, I just didn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to go walk all of Africa. There's people who was thinking that. I was developed before I did this. Camping, I was camping as a child. So it'd be different for somebody who'll say, I'm going to do it now, and they don't have that background I have. So I do got a background for this that was already developed before this goal went down. And truthfully, I saw that map of Africa 3 years ago before I did this. That shows you the planet. You start small, and then you'll grow into it. And when that time comes, you'll be able to tackle the big things. I hope this makes sense. Oh, right.
Hi, Elitom.
Hey there.
Very nice to have you with us.
Oh, thank you.
You're enjoying a lot over there.
Oh, man, I'm enjoying it. This
That's
is
nice.
fun.
I would like to ask you, how do you carry on your days, which is very hot over there and desertic?
Oh, I'm glad he said this.
Plus, let me ask you 2 questions in one, so that I don't take more time. And I
Right.
would really like to, if you can share with us, how much physical training do you make per day? How do you deal with it? So please let us know a little bit more about it. Thank you.
Oh, I'm glad he brought this up. These are 2 good ones. Now, go ahead.
I can just add to that, like he wants to know about how you deal with the weather, the extreme weather, but also maybe he wants to know how your physical exercise is through the day. But perhaps you could just give us a snapshot of what your day looks like what kind of physical activity you're doing. What are you consuming on average in a day? What people have other questions too about your lifestyle. So maybe you can just give us a portrait.
All right, this is good. Now, first of all, Africa is a continent, and it has a lot of demographics. Like right now in Ethiopia, believe it or not, it's kind of chilly here. Let me repeat that. The season I'm in now is kind of chilly out there. And they asked me, am I cold? But keep in mind, I grew up in a wintertime climate. So to me, the weather is just perfect. So in other words, I don't cry about it. But it is kind of cool. Now, when it's really, really hot, I do thrive off of it. Because dealing with my ancestry of being highly melanated, it is designed to absorb it and transform it into heat coming off the body. So I have felt that. Now, the thing about it was, there was a time, oh, I got to slow down. I'm getting excited. Now, there was a time when the body was really polluted. It didn't work like it was supposed to. And the knowledge I got now about meditation in energy cultivation, I'm thriving in Africa big time due to that knowledge. Now, number two, every day is different. Every day is different. So I might walk 5 days and I might take a week off, not walking, but chilling in the place. And keep in mind, walking with the backpack on is a lot on the body, hour after hour, day after day. So that's a workout right there. Now I will say this. The meditation / cultivation, I do that every day like clockwork because that's the way I feed. That's the way I feed. When a normal person gets tired, they need food. They need to go get the food. They're tired and they're hungry. When a breatharian gets tired, he needs to go relax and rest. Meditation gives energy. That's why I keep trying to tell people over and over again. I just had a student who said, Elitom, I've been hearing you say this for years. It didn't register. But right now, they finally could feel the energy coming off of their own body. Now they know what I'm talking about. Now they know what I'm talking about. Now going back to my physical body, not only meditation made it, that's how you get your energy. It has gotten physically stronger. When I started out in South Africa, my legs felt different, the shoulders were different, the body was aching, even though I recovered fast. Right now, the body has the memory, some 9 countries later. So that means I could be laying down or sitting down, not doing nothing for like 3 days, throwing the same backpack. And I was just saying in my mind, I don't even feel it. The body got strong. It's all an energy thing. So some of these things, you literally will have to do it to get the skill level. Because if a person keeps trying to tell you and you never do it, you will never know what they're talking about. Because you're trying to wrap your head around it intellectually. There's 2 kinds of learning. There's theoretical learning, where you're hearing the words. And then there's the practice to do it, so you can know what's being said. Legend has it, Pythagoras from Greece, they say he went to Egypt to go get some learning. And they made him fast for 40 days so he can understand and keep up on what they're saying. You need both components so you could grow stronger. So my average day again, every day is different. Today I traveled a long way. I'm here resting now. I got a group happening in a few hours. So we're going to be cultivating for 2 hours this evening. Then I'm going to be ready to get up and go in the morning. That's my lifestyle. And when I get up and go in the morning, I got another group in the morning, I'll be cultivating again before I even leave out. That's how I eat. I hope this is making sense. How else you think a breatharian is going to eat? I hope I answered this.
Wonderfully, thank you. So meditation and energy cultivation.
Mm-hmm.
By energy cultivation, do you mean practices like Qigong or Tai Chi or exercises?
Check this out. I hope people could catch this. We're energy beings. All meditations work with energy. Chakra meditation, what are you doing? You're opening up the energy channels. Microcosmic orbit, you're working with energy channels. Chanting, you're working with the sound vibration of your body to send that signal through the body to break up blockages. That's energy work. Mudras, you're making energy connection. All meditations are energy cultivation. You're cultivating the energy, meaning, say if you plant a seed and you got this plant out in your yard. Next, you start cultivating it. You water it, you look after it, you make sure it gets the right amount of sun. You guard and protect it so people won't take it, other animals won't come eat it, because you want it to grow big and strong. So you constantly looking after it. You pull the weeds from it. This is what we mean by energy cultivation. Every single day you're looking at your energy field so it can grow properly instead of stopping and starting, stopping and starting. This is a lifestyle. Is that making sense?
Absolutely. Thank you, Elitom. I know firsthand because I've been in one of your groups. So I wanted others to hear what you had to say about that. So
Right.
that's another question. People want to know, do you consume any solid or liquid foods at all anymore? Do you taste things? Do you enjoy doing that? Is it a part of your life anymore?
It's not part of the life. Not at all.
For how long?
Slow you down. Well, I don't even count no more.
Okay.
See, when the begin, keep in mind, I've been on this path for over 20 years. But then it got to the point where it don't matter how long you do. If you do something, somebody will say, oh, there it goes. Right. So after a while, as I got more mature in the game and understood that this is my life, this is my cultivation, keeping track on how long don't even mean nothing, because keep in mind that this is not fasting. You know how people say, how long have you went without? Because you're counting days. When you've been in this game for over 20 years, it becomes part of your lifestyle. Every day, you got so used to it. You can move faster, you can move more. You don't even keep track anymore. You just keep going, living your life. I hope this makes sense.
Absolutely. Thank you. We have more questions here. And then I've got 2 more from online.
All right.
Hey, Elitom.
Hey there.
Hey. I'm living on Prana, not fasting. When I'm closer to my mouth. Okay. When I'm fasting, I can lose weight. But when I'm on Prana, I don't lose any weight. I don't eat, but I'm not losing any weight. And this is not only a question about aesthetics. This is also a question because I don't feel that my body is in the right. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. There's something missing, something wrong. And when I hear you talk about energy cultivation, like I'm energetic enough. Like I love my energy levels, and I'm a little afraid that when I go cultivate more energy, that I gain weight.
Oh, no, no, no.
Because then
That
I'm
would-
eating more prana or something like that. It's like that in my programming. I mean, my mind's programmed.
Right. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Oh, no. See, all right, let's explain energy cultivation so people really can understand what we're saying. And it's just like a bodybuilder. Say if you was to start going to the gym, I'm going to the gym tomorrow. And you start working out, doing a full workout, you know, you got you a good coach. And you're really working to get bigger muscles and stronger. First of all, you know that's going to take time and effort. It ain't going to happen overnight, but you'll improve and get better and better as time goes on. So when you're energy cultivating, we had these energy channels going through the body. This is why we got an electromagnetic field. Electro means electricity. Magnetic means magnetism. The higher the electricity, the higher the magnetism. The higher the magnetism, the higher the energy. What people don't understand is energy is going to find a way of least resistance as it's going through the body. However, the more you cultivate, it's like putting money into the bank. Not a lot, but it's putting money into the bank. In other words, your energy channels are going to start getting bigger and bigger, where you'll be able to hold more light through the body. Now, I'm telling y'all this, but you have to experience it yourself. Like, for instance, I've been cultivating for over 20 years, dog. I'm not bragging or nothing, but if you ain't even got that in your background, a person is not going to have higher energy coming off their body than I am. I hope this makes sense. That's not bragging. You did your work in the gym. You seen a person who got big muscles and they said that to you, you weren't arguing. But when you're dealing with your energy field, you're getting the body prepared to bring more current flow through the body than before. Now you're saying that now it's not about getting more prana, because that's what you were just saying out of your mouth or out of your, yeah. It's about getting it stronger with a stronger grounded flow. And let's just take regular diet changes, for instance. If you ate hamburgers and pizza every day, that's different than eating fruits every day. Am I right? Now, eating prana, if that's what you're saying, which is nothing but the voltage that's in the atmosphere. That's just an old Sanskrit word we're using. Don't put that. The voltage that's in the atmosphere that got here from the sun is actually solar energy, if you want to get technical. Now, now listen at this. So you're saying your body don't feel right. First of all, you got to really explain to me what that means. And for number two, when a person really learns cultivation to get a better, stronger energy flow, they glad they did. Because you should feel right, feel balanced. It's not like you're going to get fat off of prana. That don't happen. But you'll have a stronger energy flow because energy is the foundation. We keep saying the source energy. Just keeping the body going in the first place. This is why you're cultivating. I hope I answered it. I know I beat all around the bush.
Thank you, Elitom. So I have one more question online and another one in person here. You
Alrighty.
need to go right at the top of the hour. We're at the top of the hour.
Yeah, at the top of the hour.
I let you decide. We have two more questions.
All right, let's go for it.
Okay. It's a big one.
Mhm.
Can you comment about the topic of sexuality? It's just a general question. Sexuality while you are living this kind of pranic lifestyle, solar breatharian lifestyle.
Sexuality. Meaning I mean, is there more to it?
No, this is an online question that somebody just said that they want you to comment on the topic of sexuality. What does that mean for you as a solar breatharian, or in your view of living a pranic lifestyle? Are there any changes or different perspective to the topic of sexuality for you, or in general?
This is a good one. Somebody was, what they always ask me, what about sexual cultivation? Now look at that word, cultivation. Energy cultivation, sexual cultivation. What I tell them is they're the same thing. The reason why you got a physical body is because somebody has sex. Sex made your physical body. It was a process. So this sexual energy, when you're dealing with yoga, for instance, one of the main places in the body that people work on, or should, is the hip area, where the psoas muscle is located, coming from the end of the spinal cord to connect the hips. It's a big muscle called the psoas muscle. The more you get that muscle loosened up, the bigger influx of energy that can be released from the hip area. We got names for that. Kundalini, which is just life force energy, it's just the location. But you want that energy to be freed up so it can rise upwards. You'll have a lot more energy to feed the brain, feed the organs, instead of being trapped down below. In martial arts, Kung Fu, again, they learn how to hit from the hip area, because that's where most of the energy is trapped in the body. But in spirituality, we call it sexual energy. So from where I'm at now to where I began, and I say this all the time, I'm so glad I can actually move this area differently than when I first started. It's more loosened up, more energy coming up. So sexual energy, in other words, a healthy body is a sexual body. Let me repeat, because what is going impotent? The main thing where a person gets impotent is for not having good blood flow. I was just reading a Men's Health magazine, and they was talking about impotence. You know what they had for the number one thing? Yoga. Just stretch up that body, especially this area. That's the sexual energy. But you want a good overall flow. That's why they use that word sexual cultivation, which is just energy cultivation. All of it's the same thing. And if you got a good energy flow going around the body, good heart health, good brain health, good energy coming through the hip area, you're going to have a bigger electromagnetic field. See how all that works together? We're using words that sound mythical, but the message is actually simple. The message is simple. And then, like they say for a man, what? Good heart health is good health of the gonads. Good health of the gonads is watch what you eat or watch what you don't eat. You want good energy flow. So I hope I answered that. I mean, we could go more with it, but that's the basics.
Fantastic. Thank you, Elitom. Our last question, and then we'll wrap up, because we want to be conscious of your time. Right. This is Rocco here.
Hello, hello.
Hey there.
I would like to ask you some wisdom about the topic of frustration. Let me explain a bit better. Yeah, frustration coming from perfectionism, coming from the inability to fail.
Oh man, this is a big one.
And inability to fail that lead you to judgment.
Yeah, this is a big one.
A vicious circle. Yeah,
Yeah.
can you speak about that, please?
This is a big one. This is why I had to talk about mental health today. I know we hate to say it, but when you're dealing with the New Age movement, there's a lot of good information, but there's a lot of information that can create, and I call it spiritual narcissism, and also spiritual psychosis if you're not careful. Let me repeat. Spiritual narcissism and spiritual psychosis. You're here to save the world. Everybody needs you. Right. I can't fail. Now, it's good to have confidence, but that's why when I teach, I always try to keep it grounded and basic so people won't go off with it. I see it happens all over the places. This is a good topic you brought up. This is why I was talking about mental health. Mental health. And of course, it brings up jealousy. And I could go on and on and on. Anger. You brought up the word frustration. Because you should be here and this and that. Oh man, it's rough. But it's out there and it's very, very big. And the best thing I could say on that is regrouping, because first of all, we got to be able to see it in ourselves. Because other people, they'll see it first, but sometimes we can't see it. But if you could get you a good schedule to just work on small things and be proud of that. But this is a big topic. I mean, this will take hours within itself. So I'm trying to make it condense it. And we really got to put ourselves in check so it won't get away from us. But this is a big one. This in the spiritual communities all around the world, especially in the age we're in now. Look at me, I eat fruit only. And I got to say to them, monkeys do that. I mean, what's the big deal? You know, okay, good for you. I'm high consciousness because I eat watermelon and they don't. This is a big one. Instead of just learning how to live and let live. So what I try to do in my schedule is I do communicate with everybody no matter what they're doing with no judgment. That helped really put this in check. Instead of act like I'm over here and everybody else over there. Yeah, it's a big one. Because it could get away from you so easy. So easy. And it's these words again of how it's being presented. And like I said, it could cause a lot of, and I like how you said frustration in yourself when you know you're not there. So that's another eye opener on finding your limitations. How should we say? And accepting it. Finding your limitations and accepting it. And that will help you in the long run. Because other than that, we'll keep that other face up. And the limitations will never get developed until we learn how to accept it, you know, and all this other stuff. So I hope I can answer a bit, but that's a big one right there. That's a whole weekend seminar in itself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, Elitom. That was fantastic. Really, it's about
man.
accepting where we are and not bypassing into what you call spiritual narcissism, spiritual psychosis, and
Yeah.
setting up goals that we can actually attain in the short term and building on that and cultivating a practice of meditation and energy cultivation. Did I wrap that up well? Like
You sure did.
summarizing.
And I'm even working on myself. Usually on my YouTube channel, I put God Elitom El-amin. Now I did it as a point to make a point that everybody's God. But now I'm about to change the title again and just say the man. Thank y'all and had the best day or night ever. and keep up the good work with the festival, with yourselves. And this is a good life. It's our turn. Keep up the good work. Peace and blessings. La
Thank you.
la. Now I'm about to go cultivate with the other group. We got to go catch up 2 hours straight. All right, bye-bye.